First things first, you're not gonna get rich quick doing this, okay? This is a step-by-step guide on how to do an entire side hustle. You can get started today or whenever you have all the materials. I'm gonna show you step-by-step for free how to start this side hustle. I'm gonna show you all the materials. I'm gonna show you exactly what to say. It is going to make you money at least about $25 an hour, okay? Let's get started. First things first, what is this side hustle? It's gonna be curb painting. I know you've heard it before. I don't wanna go curb painting, whatever. It is a side hustle that works. I've done it myself. I go out there, I made about $25 an hour. In the summer, I only did it for about 3 weeks. I worked like 2-3 hours a day and I was making more than my minimum wage job every single month. So this is, first things first, you're gonna need all the materials. I'm gonna show you all the materials that you need. Then we're gonna get into the script. Then we're gonna get into the practice. All right, the materials you're gonna need. You need gloves, just normal rubber gloves. That's so you don't get paint on your hands and everything. You're gonna need spray paint. You're gonna need white, this spray paint right here, okay? It is Rust-Oleum. It says stops rust, gloss protective enamel. You're gonna need the white one, the white gloss, okay? Then you're gonna need a charcoaly black, okay? So this is high performance Rust-Oleum professional high performance enamel. It is black. You wanna make sure you don't get the glossy one. The glossy one looks the same as the white. It's just black, but it's glossy. This combination with the glossy white as the background and the black for the numbers makes the numbers pop a lot at night, and this specific paint lasts a very long time. Next, you're gonna need some things that you probably already have in your household. It depends on who you are, what your situation is, but a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and that is for the paint. You're gonna need a can, just a small can, of the same white paint of the spray paint, okay? Protective enamel, it's glossy. You want the oil-based gloss white, okay? You're gonna want the screwdriver to open it, a hammer to close it, and then you're gonna want a paintbrush, okay? I put it in a little baggie so it doesn't get all over my bag when I put it in there. And then just a rag to dry off your paintbrush and everything so you can put it away and it's all good. Now, that's the first pocket. The second pocket, I have stencils. These are number stencils. You want ideally 4 of 1 through 9, okay? Or 0 through 9, I should say. You want 4 of them, because if somebody has an address that is 1111, you're gonna wanna be able to do that. But I've never came across an address that was like that in my few weeks of doing this. So ideally, you want 4 pairs of stencils, 0 through 9. You don't need it. You could do 2 or 3. Just keep in mind that you wouldn't be able to do the addresses that repeat the numbers as much. Then you're gonna want some painter's tape. I have that inside my stencil bag. I don't know if you can even see it. Some painter's tape. I like the blue one. The tape that comes with the stencils is not that thick, and you get the paint between the stencils, and I don't like that, so I get the blue tape that's more wide, and it covers more of the stencils and the spaces between them. That way, you don't get paint in between the stencils. So, you want the stencils, and then you want duct tape to tape around the box, right, that you're going to be painting the white box in. So duct tape for your entire box of paint. Stencils, about 4 pairs. You could do 2 or 3 starting out, but you're going to want to buy more. You could get, I think, pair of 2 for I think like $6. Painter's tape, duct tape, some scissors if you're a baby and you don't want to rip off the duct tape yourself. And you want a wire brush, so that you can clean the area so that the paint actually lasts and you're not just painting the dirt that's on there. An extra thing that you don't actually need, it's just nice to have, you could have, if you're gonna be going out late, if you're gonna be doing it all day and it's gonna get dark, you can have a band with a light on it so you can actually see the curb in the dark. And then another thing is knee pads. This is not essential, but it's very nice to have because you're gonna be on the floor. You know, you wanna just sit on your knees comfortably. It kind of sucks to put your knees on the concrete or the road and stuff, so. Okay, these are the steps. I'm gonna go through them and explain them. So step 1, brush off dirt with wire brush. You don't want to paint onto the dirt because then once the dirt blows away, there's no paint there. It's like painting on rocks, right? Then you just mess up the rocks and it's all gone, right? And then you also want to brush off where you know your border is going to be so that your duct tape actually sticks and you don't get the white paint under the duct tape. Tape the stencils together and measure how big your background is going to be. So put all the stencils together for your address numbers, your 4 numbers, put them on the curb, measure how big your space is going to be, okay? There should be a good amount of room, about this room, between the top and the bottom of the stencils. That way you have some room, you know, for the numbers and it doesn't look all small. It's not too small, it's not too big. Then you want to duct tape your border. It's pretty simple. You put the duct tape where you know your border is going to be. You want to lay your stencils there. You want to keep your stencils there, just duct tape around the stencils, okay? You want to paint the background, so you get your white spray paint, just paint it. And then make sure to angle it when you're going over the duct tape. Make sure to angle it inwards. That way it doesn't go under the duct tape and then it looks all splotchy. And then let the background paint dry. This is crucial because if you put on the black paint while the white paint is still wet, it's going to mess up the numbers. It's going to make it look all weird. Also, the stencils will stick to the curb and then it's just hard to take them off. And so just let the background paint dry. Place your stencils in the center of the background paint. Paint the numbers. You want to go quickly. You don't want to... You want to go like that. Because if you go super slowly, the paint is just going to drip and it's going to get all over. And then you're going to have a whole big mess to clean up with your white paint at the end. So go quickly, just go side to side, cover the whole thing. It's okay if you go over the sides because that's what the can of paint is for in the paintbrush. Now, let your number paint dry, let everything dry, leave your stencils there, don't touch anything, it'll probably take like 2 minutes, just let it all dry. And then take off the stencils, put them away, and then use the white can of paint with the paintbrush. Very simple. You dip it in there to fix any mistakes or to overpaint when you're going all quickly on the sides. It's going to go over the sides of the stencils, and so you could fix that up. That's why you want to make sure it's the exact same color as your spray paint of your white. And then take off your duct tape and clean up materials, and you're done. And you collect your money. Now you know your materials that you need. You know how to do it. You're going to want to practice on your own curb, figure it out. Make sure you know how to do it right. Because if you don't think you can actually do it and you go out there and you try to do it and you actually get somebody to say yes, you're going to be like, oh my, I don't even know how to do this. You're going to be freaking out because you don't actually know how to do it. Make sure you have the confidence that you know how to do it first before you actually go out there. Now that you know how to do it, you have the materials. What do you say at the door? Because we're going to be going door to door. We're not advertising on Nextdoor or anything like that. We're going to go make conversation with people. We're going to go confront people at their door, and we're going to get them to get us to paint their curbs. So what do you say? All right, here it is. This is the script. So a little explanation on the script. I'm going to read it out and I'm going to explain why we say everything that we say. So you want to say an icebreaker, a little joke, maybe a compliment. This is just the intro. This is the first part. The reason you do this is because you're at their door and they're like maybe watching TV. They're maybe having lunch with their family or dinner with their family. They're like, who the heck is at my door in my personal like business, in my space, right? Who is interrupting my life right now? So they're all upset already. You got to get them to like you. You know, maybe I wore tight compression blue and red shirts when I was doing this. So a joke that I would say is like, don't worry, I'm not a Power Ranger. I'm just here to help out the community. Or compliment them. Or you could be like, don't worry, just a good looking guy trying to help out the community. You know, something like that. Just, you know, make conversation. Maybe you could compliment, oh, wow, I really like your guys' plants that you have over here. You know, you want to use hand gestures, all that. Then you want to go into, hey, my name is, you know, for me, I would say, my name is Max. You're the homeowner here, correct? If they say, oh, I'm renting, usually you can't really do anything with them because it's not the renter's decision. It would be the homeowner's decision. But even if they are renting, I've gotten sales from renters before, and it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, but if they're the homeowner, correct, awesome. I'm just going around helping the community make their addresses more visible. About how long would you say that you've been living here? Now, this is just making conversation, making them like you, and just getting more comfortable with them because they're like, who is this guy, right? So I'm just going around helping the community, making homeowners' addresses more visible. About how long would you say that you've been living here? They're like, oh, 20,000 years, you know, or 20 years, right? I don't know why I said 20,000. 20 years. Oh, nice. So you must like it here, right? Oh, yeah, you know, it's cool. The people here suck, whatever. Well, that sucks. Well, I'm sure that like everybody that you'd like to make your house more presentable, right? And they're like, yeah, because that's a very one-sided question. It's like, obviously, you want to say it like it's super obvious. Like, well, I'm sure like everybody that you'd like to make your house more presentable, right? And then they're like, well, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty stupid question, of course. And then you're like, and it'll also increase the property's value. Basically, how I'm doing this is I'm painting the address numbers on the actual curb. I have a glossy white paint and a dark charcoaly black. Which one would you prefer for the background? And here you don't want to ask them, would you be interested in me painting your curb? You don't want to do that because if they say no, you're screwed and you're like, okay, well, you want to just ask them, what would you like for the background? And then they're like already thinking like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You know, you're not giving them an option to say no. You're just like, oh, would you prefer black or white for the background? They're like, well, white, obviously. Yeah. And you're like, awesome. Normally it would be $50. You want to increase the price because right there, you're like, today it's going to be a lot lower than it normally is going to be. If I have to come back, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So right there, you want to decrease the price so that they're like, oh man, I got to get this right now. He's only here today. So normally it would be $50, but since I came to you and I have all my stuff with me already, it's just going to be $20. You're going to be here for the next 30 minutes or so, correct? They're like, yeah, cool. I'll just go ahead and get started. I'll come let you know when I'm all finished up. And it's really just as simple as that. You'll get better as you do it. You can charge more the better that you get. Once you get some more confidence and you're going out there every day, you could start charging $25, $30 and then say that your price is $80 when you're not there. And you know what I mean? And really, you could be making at least $20 an hour. And it really bothers me to see people that are poor, that don't have money, that are on the side of the street. How do I make money? Oh, can I get some money for food? Literally, they could be out there asking for, I want some money to start a side hustle. And then they get their money, they go get their supplies. Stencils are like $6. A paintbrush is like $4. What else do you even need? A wire brush is actually kind of expensive. I think that's like 10 or 15. But it's just so simple, and you need about $60 to start. And once you have that money, you could use old birthday money whatever. You could be 13 years old making the same amount as your teachers. You can be 40 years old, an ex-convict, you can't get hired anywhere, and you need some money quick. Just like this, if you have $60 to start with, some home materials, you need a hammer, a flathead screwdriver, and that's pretty much it. It's just as simple as that. So I hate to see people that are struggling. I hate to see people that don't have money. If you need money quick, you don't know where to get a job, you don't really want to work for somebody, you want to work on your own time, you want to go out there, you want to make some money, just do this. You can work on your own time. You can work whenever you want, wherever you want, pretty much. You could just go to a neighborhood, make sure that they have some houses that already have some paint and curbs painted, and it's really just as simple as that. Go out there, get started, go make some money.